can't win two till you win one. So we got one underneath our belt. Early observations, we'll have to, again, sit back and scour the film. Hat goes off to Portland State, which should be no surprise. This kid's going to play hard, and my bet is, after their first two games, I bet they win a bunch of games, and they play hard. Offensively, the drive at the end there, we put together a couple of huge drives. One last game in the first half, and now in the last drive of the game here to put us in a great spot to be able to take the lead. Those are huge drives. Hopefully we can grow from that. Overall, defensively, we obviously have a long ways to go.
Run defense was a problem, Gary. What did you see happening there?
Well, my biggest problem right now, what I would say is there's not one part of the run game defense that, we're playing well. The edges of the defense aren't secured where they need to be. We're not tackling well. The middle of the defense is soft at times. We have to become a team that can tackle, secure the edges in the run game. These guys we're playing next week, these backs are real. It's going on 3 years playing these guys that are coming in here next week, and you better become real good tacklers real fast to be able to control and maintain these guys.
Gary, when Portland State over here scored with, I think it was 2:40 left or something like that, just what was your message to the team before they went out there for that game-winning drive?
No real message to the offense at that point. It was basically they knew the situation. They knew where we were with timeouts. We practiced those situations all the time, and the kids stepped up, and the kids as a whole stepped up and made plays. Our ability to be able to shoot ourselves in the foot at times in those situations and critical moments is still very, very mind-boggling, and it needs to go away. You need to be able to, but we overcame it today. And so it was no real message for me other than, they knew the situation. We prepare them those moments, spring ball, fall camp, all season long.
Gary, on the last drive that Portland State scored, you saw guys like Kessie, Doug, Omar on the field. Were you just subbing guys in because of the heat? Were certain guys not available? What went to the personnel?
There was a number of defenders that weren't available at that point. And that's, it was what it was. So it was the guys we had out there on the field at that point. There was obviously a lot of substitute players in there, second team, third team guys. That's where we were at that moment. So they got it done, which I'm proud of them finding a way to be able to get it done.
Gary, Portland State, with the way they opened the game with that three-play drive, you talk about the defense, and they kind of tried to set the tone pretty well early off. Did you have a message for the team after that series?
I'm not. I guess I'm just not a big message guy. I'm sending them messages the whole game, trying to help them understand the situation, the moment, reminding them that it's 11 strong that they've got to battle with, and if a team has some success or we don't really have some success, I don't think I ever really, do I challenge them more in certain times? Absolutely, but not to, like a scripted out message as far as here's what we've got to be able to do or where we're going. I just coach football the same way I have for 28 years, I suppose. Try to coach them hard, get them in the right spot, and that was a very concerning start.
Gary, you talked about making plays over here on the left on defense. Were you surprised that you guys gave up so many yards rushing and so many yards on total offense?
Yeah, I would say I'd be surprised in a lot of games, and again, that's nothing in any way, shape, or form taking anything away from Portland State. But the thing that I'm surprised is just we're not where we need to be. From a fundamental standpoint at times, and the tackling ability. I think these kids are a lot better, and I know they're a lot better. We just have to be able to continually work with them, and the youth cannot be an excuse. We have 7 young guys out there on the field at that point, and that's what we got. If we got 5, we got 3. It is what it is. So, I don't know if that's really an answer to your question, but that's kind of where I'm at.
Gary, you talk about making those corrections, and so what are the next steps this coming week in practice to try to immediately make some of those corrections before Minnesota comes into town?
Well, I'll break down that film hard again, and I'll break it down again. These kids will focus and look at it and understand where they're at. There has to be. You can't just keep doing the same thing and expect all of a sudden the results are going to magically change. And so we know after 2 games where we're at from a personnel standpoint. We know what we have to be able to address, and we're going to have to get into that room and we're going to have to break it down very aggressively and understand where we're at, because our behind the line of scrimmage plays, we had a few, especially there when we had to make a couple stops, which we weren't when they jumped into empty, but we got them behind the chains and then they turned around and made plays. So it's everything, we'll start with our fundamentals, I guess there's another tackling drill or something. I don't have a magic tackling drill. We tackle 3 times a week and take them to the ground once, and the other 2 times we thud it up. That's what the rules basically allow us to do, and so we'll just keep on grinding, keep on working through the process with this team, and I'm excited to work through this process. Don't understate that. Let me state that. Excuse me. I'm excited to get back to work tomorrow morning and enjoy a victory because they are hard to come by, and we'll keep on fighting. We'll fight for these kids.
And you played both Jake and Daryl in some situations, which we didn't see last week. So just what went into that decision-making process, and how do you feel that went as far as bringing Daryl in for certain spots?
Well, I think it was good. There's obviously a play that Daryl would like to get back. There was a play that Jake would like to get back on a pick, and those are a couple turnovers. We still got to work to get those things out of there somehow, some way. It's not everyone to be perfect, but I like it because we have to have a little bit more. And when I say that, we have to have a little bit more offense. There is no quarterback controversy. It's not those kids. They understand it. They understand the situation. It is a package for us. Daryl will have a package for us, and we need him. He causes some problems with his legs, and he can still run the offense very well, which he's shown at times. So we need them both. We're going to use them both.
Gary, what do you make of the way your team was able to respond this week as opposed to last week? It seemed like in the middle of the third quarter, they could have got down, but they stuck with it and ended up pulling it out, whether it was pretty or not.
Well, yeah, you're exactly right. It's great to win. There's no doubt about it. They kept on fighting. They kept on battling in bad situations. When we had to do it, we did it. So, I still don't think last week that they wilted. I think you had 2 tired football teams. I think Colorado State made some plays in the end, and we didn't with a lot of plays in 11 minutes and however many seconds that was, and we weren't able to. And today we were able to make a couple, which was good to see.
Gary, you started by saying, we won. How relieved are you?
I wouldn't say I'm relieved. I'm happy. I love to win. Winning's what you do this for, and those kids should remember that. I've been in locker rooms in the past where it's, this was supposed to happen or that was supposed to happen. This is college athletics. We are where we are, and we are fighting our tails off to continually get better. And every win is one more notch to getting us where Beaver Nation wants us, where we want to get, where everybody that's involved in this program wants to get. And we are definitely a work in progress, and no one runs away from that. So victories are extremely, extremely valuable.
Gary, can you talk about the picks by Manasseh and Brandon today?
Yeah, the pick for Brandon was obviously big. To be able to get in the middle of the field, it was good to see him have some success on the day. That was he got down the middle of the field where he was supposed to be, and they threw one up to him, and he got it. Manasseh's play was a tremendous play. We need Manasseh. We need him as a leader on that field. We need his athletic ability on that field. And when he wasn't in there for a lot of that second half, it was tough, especially when a team showed an empty scenario in a situation that you don't go out and practice. So Manasseh's play was a tremendous play, and BA's was a nice play also. We got a couple of those turnovers were huge.
Was there any reasoning for putting in David Morris instead of Brandon in the beginning?
Well, BA played the first series, and then we went to David. And David's playing well. It's a competition back there. It's a battle, and it will continue to be a battle back there. And David Morris is gaining momentum, and when a kid goes out there and plays and makes plays, then he needs to be prepared to get in the moment, and David was today, and we'll play a few of those guys as we roll through there.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thanks.